to our 2-hour Children's Future with Health professional development training. Today, we'll be continuing with the 7 learning styles, studying solitary interpersonal learning style. This is one of many learning styles, so stay tuned and see what we have to offer. So you'll see them more focused in their thoughts and feelings. They'll be able to reason within themselves certain things and really think about it and see how it fits and map it out in their minds so they can be more effective than implement it. So it's funny because they are usually labeled. They are the kids that you're like, okay, why aren't you playing with everyone else? And it's not something that they do all the time. It's not like they're abnormal where they're not going to have fun and play, but when they're learning, and especially when you're younger, you're learning all the time. So if that's your method of taking in information, you're going to be quiet. You're going to try to take it in and dissect it within yourself in order for you to understand it. Also, an intrapersonal learner is also aware of his or her own thinking. He or she knows what he or she thinks about and actually reasons within themselves. Am I right in doing this? Am I wrong in doing this? They may take longer to do something, but they're just reasoning and thinking. So our students may need sometimes those times an opportunity to have quiet time. And you spend your time on, as a solitary learner, on self-analysis. What is that? Like, what are they doing when they're self-analyzing? Those students who are harder on themselves and may come up and say, why did this, why was this wrong, or why was it, because they're actually reflecting over them. It's not a grade to them only, but they're taking everything in and they're just trying to apply it to themselves. How do I do better, And I mean, it's a great student to have, but then they can actually be using it as a negative thing too. So you may see kids beating themselves up when they did a great job, just because they got a negative 2, it's like they're killing themselves over it and not recognizing that. So they're really into, analyzing myself, self-introspection. What do I do to make myself better? When you can see something in writing, like I know for me, I have to write something down or draw it to be able to remember it. Like if I don't take notes or rewrite my notes, I won't remember the terms as well as I could if I just read it and then closed the book and then went to the test. Sometimes I really have to write words down, so that's why flashcards come in handy, writing cards. So these kids, sometimes they need to keep a journal. It may be a good thing to implement in a classroom. I remember growing up in classrooms we had, when we came in, it was the journal topic. The first thing you wrote about was whatever happened last night or yesterday or whatever you want. Or maybe they had a topic of the day. And that helped me with thinking about myself, thinking about how do I fit in with this topic? How am I going to implement? How can I change it? Oh, I didn't do all my spelling tests. Maybe I need to do this to do better. So it helps them think on saying that everything that I do has an impact. And what I do is important because it's being recorded too. These students are looking for ways to make themselves better. They're looking for ways to improve themselves. It may get to a point where it sometimes, sadly, that it gets them too off the track. For instance, a lot of college students are crazy with their grades and flipping out for like a 0.5, and it's just crazy. But at the same time, it's a good thought just to want to be better. Just to be a better person, a better worker, a better student. So they're thinking, a lot of these students that we have. Sometimes as teachers we want 1, 2, 3. Get it to me. And we don't give them that time to think and reflect. It may take them a half hour. I've seen kids take long on like one problem. But if you're not on their back and you give them that space, sometimes that's enough to get them motivated. And so it's important for us to implement things in the classroom that hint at future goals. No matter how young the child is, it's good to talk about it because it helps them start thinking about themselves. Class is not a place only for them to just get. They have an opportunity to also give as well, opening up, letting out their inner feelings, letting out whatever is in there, and they could actually help their fellow students. These learning styles are not individual. They're not, you don't have one. It's not like an illness, like you just, have one per person. You have a plethora of them, and there are many ways that so I'm sure when you sat here, you were saying to yourself, I'm mad, I'm that too. I'm all of them seven. You know, you might have a piece of everything that makes you the best learner that you are. So, you know, it's a plethora, and the thing I like. Well, I hope you enjoyed our seminar. The session was filled with fun, learning, games, and everyone learned from each other. This is one of many seminars that we hold throughout the year. For more information, join us at www.TOCFWH'S.org. That's www.TOCFWH.org. Hope to see you soon.